One of the nice things about an OFM file is that it can contain color information. So you can set all your colors just the way that you want them, save it as an OFM, and it will maintain all of that color information so you can reference it later. Let's take a look at how to set up that color information. Color information exists in DesignShop in kind of three places. It exists over on the left-hand side in your color palette. So the larger area is your current color. If I were to start digitizing, this is the color I would be digitizing in. The sliver is your background color, and if you're not sure what something is, you can hover over it and it will tell you. This little set here that is numbered, these are your active colors. And I kind of treat these as the cones of thread that I would be using throughout my design. If I'm using a color more than once, it's only going to appear here once because I really only need one cone of thread to do that. So if I was doing a design that was red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, I would only have two colors in my active colors on the left-hand side of the screen, but on the right-hand side of the screen in the project view, I would have all of those colors listed out, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Below that, I have kind of a pool of suggested colors that I might choose from if I'm just trying to get something close and kind of visualize my design. On the right-hand side in the project view, this is actually my color sequence. So the order that they appear here is the order in which they sew. And you can see that listed out beside them is the actual color information. So the top one here is 1748 Madeira Polyneon. If I right-click on any of these, I can go to color and I can actually get to the color chart and the exact thread color that I'm using. So if I were to change thread charts, so I was changing either companies or I was changing to perhaps a different style of thread, so in this case perhaps frosted matte, I could choose that thread chart and then I could scrub down through and find the color that I wanted, or if I knew the exact thread color, I could select the box, and I think I just got the thread color I wanted. So 7648. 7648 is frosted matte, kind of a lime green. I'm going to hit apply and OK. And now I've changed the color of these pairs. Not only have I changed the color, but I've changed the style of thread. So this is now the frosted matte, whereas everything else is sewing in polyneon. If I wanted to just visualize very quickly, I could also just select this color. Once something is selected, I could come over and choose out of this list and click on it. So I could have purple pairs. Let me hit undo really quickly. And let me just change half of these pairs. So if I expand this out, I can click on one, hold shift, click on another to get everything in between. Let me change these to a red. So now I've changed half of this color. So it's showing a light green, then a red, then the medium green, yellow, and then the dark green. Over in the active colors, I have 5 colors listed here. If I were to resequence this, so if I were to drag these around, and not that this is a good idea because you'll notice as I do this I am moving some of my travel stitches. So now I have travel stitches traveling over all of these leaves. But if I do resequence this, it will keep its color information with it. So in older versions of Melco software, the color information was separate from the properties. Here, the color information is actually part of the properties, so as I move elements around, they maintain their color information. Makes it a little easier to keep track of. If I wanted these to be the exact same color as this set of pairs, I could select them and I could come over and click on the active color. This way I know I'm using a color that I've used before. So let me left click on there and I've changed these pairs to the exact same color that I had before. So the large difference is if I am clicking on something in the view window or in the project view and changing the colors, I'm changing just those colors. I'm changing the color of just those elements that I have selected. Now I'm going to change the color with the active colors, and that would be like swapping out of cone of thread, so it's going to change every time that color happens. So now, if we look over on the project view, I have light green, medium green, I'm using that same light green again, yellow, dark green. So I have 5 essentially color blocks on the project view. On the left, I only have 4 colors. That's because I'm using this light green twice. If I right click on here and I say edit color for this light green and I go choose another color, let's choose this green, I hit apply, and it has now changed every instance of that light green in my color sequence. So I can hit OK, and now I've changed every instance. So again, selecting in the project view will change just the one instance or just that one set of elements that I have selected. Changing in the active colors will change every time that color occurs. When I resequence, it keeps its color block. If I want the color block to be adopted into the one above it, I can click on this icon, which will merge the color block into the one above it. So there it has merged into the one above it. I could do the same thing with the leaves, so everything's the exact same color of green. And it will adopt the color above it, so everything merges. Let me hit undo a couple of times here. So now we have, again, multiple color blocks. Let's get a couple more color blocks in here. I have multiple back-to-back identical colors. So I have 1, 2, and 3, and they are all this light green. If I wanted to merge them all into one color block and save myself some time setting a color sequence, I can do that by using the Auto Merge Color Block feature. That is this icon up here. When I click this, and this is sticky, so once I click it, it will stay stuck, which means anything I bring in, if there are back-to-back identical color changes, they will automatically merge into one color block. So that's a nice way to kind of up your efficiency with the design and remove some identical color blocks. So we've got ways to colorize our design. If we save it as an OFM, it will keep that color information with it. We can access that color information from the right-hand side in the project view. We can access it from the left-hand side in the active colors. And we can access it through properties. So you've got lots of ways to change that color information and set up your designs appropriately.